In the last video, we covered what the new Atlassian Projects app is. In this video, we're going to cover what are goals in the new Goals app that Atlassian has released. What does it look like? We're going to explore the user navigation, and we're going to explore some of the trade-offs, and hopefully how I would like to see them improve goals in the future. All right, what is a goal? So goals in Atlassian represents the outcomes that multiple projects or streams of work contribute to. So you can have multiple projects in your organization that tie up to the same strategic goal for your company. So goals usually take a long period of time to achieve is what they're saying, and can be represented by various frameworks such as OKRs, KPIs, or SMART goals. Goals is available to all Atlassian users with at least one active app on their site. So whether you have Confluence or you have Jira Service Management, Goals is available to you so that you can tie the work that you're doing to these overall high-level business and strategic goals. So let's go ahead and go over to my Jira demo org, actually walk through the user interface for goals. Okay, now that we are in the Jira demo org, you will see here that I have goals open. The way that you can access goals is if you go to this icon in the top left-hand corner and you select Jira Home, you should be able to access goals through your Jira Home on the left sidebar, or you should be able to see it from this drop-down here where it says goals. All right, so this is the basic user interface that you're going to be spit out on. You will typically be spit out on the updates page to begin with for goals. Let's see, if we go to the goals directory, you'll be able to see a list just at a high level view of all of the different goals. So similarly to projects, you'll see the name of the goal, the status, the progress on it, the date to have that goal completed, who the owner is, whether or not you're following it, and when it was last updated. You can click into these goals for more information. So again, these are these high level strategic company goals, and you can tie Jira Spaces or Jira projects to these goals to show what projects are supporting meeting this goal. All right, once you click into a goal, you are put out on the updates page so that you can see what the latest updates are. If you go over to the About tab, it can allow you to enter a little bit more of a description. So if you hover over description, this is where you can edit this. And so this goal here is for this goal in particular is tied to a project. That project is creating a video series on spaces, goals, and projects within Jira. The description or the goal here says help Atlassian customers understand goals and projects and how to use or disable them for their business needs. The description of this goal is there seems to be a lot of confusion around goals, spaces, and projects within the Atlassian community and the customer base at large, really. So this video series is to explore the intended purpose and vision for these new apps and naming conventions, and ultimately help customers use the tools that they pay for to meet their specific business needs. So hopefully these videos really do help you out in just getting a basic overview on what goals looks like, what projects look like, and also some instructions on how to disable them if you don't want to see them for your organization. So of course, similarly to the projects, you'll see the updates here. You will also see a section for Jira, so you can add work in Jira that contributes to this goal. So you can add a work item here. You have a projects tab. So like I said, I have a project that contributes to meeting this goal, and that project is what we reviewed in the last video on this series, which is creating a video series on spaces, goals, and projects in Jira. So you can see here just at a high level view all of the projects and how they contribute to this overall strategic goal. Similarly to the project space, you can add learnings here. So what is a lessons learned? You can see a risks tab, so you can capture a new risk. And then same thing with decisions, you can document decisions here. What I'm not thrilled about is that the learnings, risks, and decisions don't automatically pull in for goals. They don't automatically pull in any learnings, risks, or decision logs that I've added to a project that contributes to this goal. If that list could automatically sync into the goal, if you do have a project linked to it, I think that would be ideal. I can understand how that piece of functionality wouldn't be part of their MVP for the release of this Goals app within the Atlassian suite. And so we'll see if they're able to integrate that in the future. The other thing that I mentioned along in the Projects app video is that a lot of times goals are typically documented up to this point in Confluence for organizations, strategic goals. So having the ability to just link that Confluence page here in the About and for this goal, I think would be really helpful. Risks, decision logs, learned are all typically to this day documented within Confluence. Having the ability to just link that and have it display in one view, I think would be a really good enhancement for the new Goals app and for the new Projects app. Similarly to projects, you will see the status here in the top right hand corner. You can update the status. So if this goal is on track, you can put it on track. You do have some other statuses available to you, like on track, at risk, off track, completed. So let's go ahead and put this as on track, and we'll say goal is on track to be met by January 2nd, 2026. And we will post. And now it populates me to the updates tab, so everyone here and anyone that's following the latest update for this goal. Here again on the right hand side, you will see progress, so you can add progress here for a project, or rather a goal. You will see the owner, you can see the followers or add followers. If there is a parent goal, you can go ahead and link it here, or if there are sub goals, you can link them here as well. So as you create goals, you can add them as parent goals or sub goals, how your organization structures these items. You can add teams that are supporting this goal. You can add tags to this goal. And of course, this is where you add the start date. So this is the basic user navigation for the new Goals app within Jira and Confluence. Again, it ties into both Jira and Confluence, and you should be able, any users that have access to Jira or Confluence are automatically granted access by default. I do see where they're trending with this. Really large organizations tend to have high-level strategic goals and lots of projects with lots of cross-functional teams that support these goals. And there really hasn't been a centralized way to easily view all of this information. Like I said, I do think that there's a lot of opportunity to integrate this with Confluence and existing documentation for their existing customer base. And so it'll be interesting to see how they improve on goals and projects going forward. Having said that, a lot of organizations don't want to spend the time in carving out these goals or these projects just yet. And so they really want to eliminate viewing both goals and the projects apps from their user base. And there is a way to go through and disable both goals and projects for your users without restricting access to Jira and Confluence. And that's what we're going to go over in our next video.